What's up, Lou?
I don't want to go through this again, okay? I'm just trying to do the podcast, okay? Well, I'm sorry I can't be there for you right now, Wile E. Coyote, but I have other things to do right now. It's so hard to talk to you when you're like this. I have to do a podcast in like 2 minutes. Ryan's waiting for me. Oh, okay. I hate it when you get like this. You know, this is just like my mom's told me what would happen.
What?
Don't hold that sign up to me. Oh my god. You know what? I want a divorce. We'll talk about it after the podcast, okay? Hey Ryan, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going with you?
Everything's so good right now, actually. Everything's great.
Okay.
You ready to do the podcast?
Yeah, I'm bringing this up just for no reason, just for no real reason. You'll be happy to know there's no Wile E. Coyote episodes this week.
That's so awesome.
Hi, everyone! Welcome to Looney Duels, a podcast where we power scale the Looney Tunes to determine how long they survive in the Looney Tunes Battle Royale.
Yes, we have some really exciting episodes today. You know, I would say we have some real bangers here, and some real not-so-bangers.
They're all good.
Well, let's just jump right in. It's been a while since we've been in the classic Looney Tunes era. We were kind of, like...
Yeah, you sucked me into all your demented, like, Lunatics universes.
Yeah, we visited the Lunatics. We were at Space Jam for a while. It's time to get back to basics. We've strayed a little bit. Let's get back into it.
I want to start with, this awesome one called Boobs in the Woods, starring Daffy and Porky.
Yeah! Oh, Lord, do I love a Daffy and Porky. They have such a great dynamic, honestly. It's really funny to watch them bounce off each other, and it's where you really get to see Porky's, like, shine, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a lot about Porky's evil form. I just want to start this one with saying Daffy is goony and nutsy.
Yeah, Daffy is self-proclaimed goony and nutsy, and I love that for him.
So, this one's got a pretty basic setup. It's just Porky in the woods trying to enjoy himself. Not even the woods, it's kind of like in the mountain area, trying to enjoy himself. And of course, Daffy fucking Duck is gonna make that as hard as possible. Yeah. It's the stuff you expect, but I want to talk about this right now.
Okay.
Do you think everything Daffy does is some weird form of flirting?
In this short, yes, extremely so. Because this is very unprovoked. Yeah. Everything Daffy does is very unprovoked. Because Porky is he comes out of his little camper, he sets up his easel, he's trying to do some painting, which, by the way, he's an amazing painter.
Absurdly good.
And Daffy just, comes at him, immediately. Just starts poking at him and messing with him and making him think that he caught a fish when he didn't catch a fish, and then Porky tries to chop his head off with an axe. It's really good.
Yeah, okay, so Daffy at some point also in the short learns Porky's not married. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then he goes, why don't we tie the knot together?
He's like, well, how about going steady with me?
Yeah, so Daffy is really into Porky, but on the flip side, Porky hates Daffy. I don't think you can get around that. He wants him dead in this one. He doesn't even have a build-up to getting angry. He's just pissed off right from the start. He doesn't take any shit from Daffy immediately in this one. He gets his gun out. He starts trying to chop his head off. He's holding him by the neck and beating him up. Porky is fucking violent.
He's over it. I think he's over it. I think a lot of people misunderstand, and maybe at one point we misunderstood Porky. You know, remember when we used to call him a meek little pig? I don't think we could call him that anymore.
He's gotten really violent the last few times we've seen him, but this is I think the peak of that. There's just no build up in this one to him getting violent. Daffy doesn't go too far ever. It's just straight from the start.
Do you think that he was already in Shadow Porky form when the short started, or was was there a multiplier? Does Daffy make him go into dark Porky mode faster?
I'm gonna say yes to both of these. I think Daffy activated faster, but I also think my thing is Porky had entered dark Porky form pretty recently, and Petunia was standing in the room after he made a huge destruction mess, and she's like, "You have to go. You have to go, and just calm down. I'll be here when you get back. I know you can't control your dark Porky form, but you need to calm down." So he goes to the woods to calm down, just have a nice time, And lo and behold, who else is there with that fucking duck to make it worse?
I love this lore that, like, Dark Porky is, like, almost like his Hulk ability, where, like, he can't control it, and he struggles with it, and he has a hard time, like, maintaining personal relationships because of it, and so, like, even Petunia's just like, you know what, when you're like, I can't talk to you when you're Dark Porky, you have to go for a bit.
It's like it's Venom, like, Dark Porky overcomes Porky, he's like, oh, we together we can get that duck.
I do want to just mention, you know, I bet you guys think that we don't keep up with all the moves and powers that all these characters have.
Oh, yes.
But Daffy activates his invisible bike move, which is something he's done. I think we talked about it in, like, episode, like, 5. So it is a canon move he has where he can just summon an invisible bike and bike away, which I feel like will give him a lot of mobility when he's, like, trying to, like, evade, like, dodge shots and blows when he's in the battlefield. So these are things to keep in mind.
When the fight gets serious, he's like, I bet it's time to get my invisible motorcycle.
Do you think he can, like, build up to that? Or is that, like, something he has to train to be able to do?
He has to train, I think. He has to, like, be ready. He has to, like, pump himself up. Like, it has to be a dire situation. He has to pump himself up. And then once that happens, he can activate invisible motorcycle form.
Okay, cool. So it's like it's not like a cooldown. Like, he can activate the invisible bicycle form, like, every so often, but the motorcycle one is like he has to build the meter, and then once he uses it, it's like down for a while.
Yes.
He has to build it up again.
Yeah. Invisible motorcycle form is only for emergencies.
Now, I think we've noticed before that Porky is kind of a little bit of a slave to, like, authority. When he feels like he's done something illegal, he pretty much caves immediately. And my evidence in this short is that Daffy dresses up like an executioner, tells him it's, like, illegal to paint mountains or something, and Porky just is like, oh wow, I didn't know it was so strict here, and he, like, lays his head down like he's gonna let him do it.
Yeah.
Now, this doesn't last long once he realizes it's Daffy, but I mean, you could probably get a lot done if you tricked him into thinking you were some sort of, like, authority figure, right?
Yeah, if you dressed up like the mayor of a town and said, it's illegal to not wear pants, we have to kill you, he'd go along with it.
Or at least for a little bit. But Porky, he gets fooled a few times, but he's a lot quicker to, like, pick up what's happening, I feel like. Like, you can trick him once or twice, but after that, you're gonna really have a hard time using that same trick on him again. You have to really spice it up with Porky. Porky's a fast learner. Like, fool him once. Elmer will fall for the same trick 10 times in a row. There's nothing that could be done about that. But Porky, he like, learns. He's, like, adaptive. So that's what you gotta watch out for, is if you don't get him early on, or get him within the first few blows, it's gonna be really hard to maintain your position in the fight against Porky, I think.
2 other notes about Porky. He knows when to quit. There's a point in this short where he just has had enough of Daffy, he doesn't want to deal with it, he just gets in his car and decides to leave. Something that happens, that's now, we'll get to that. But he knows when enough's enough, he doesn't just want to deal with it. Yeah. Second thing is, he has so many licenses.
Yeah, he has a fishing license, a dog license, a license to sell, like, certain things. Like, Daffy just, like, pulls something out of his ass, trying to ask Porky if he has it as a license, and Porky has it as a license. Good for him.
Yeah.
But that goes a lot. Like, he's a man of the people, you know. He goes to work, he, you know, has his vacations, clocks into his 9 to 5. You know, when he goes fishing, he makes sure he gets all the permits and gets all the right equipment, and he does his research. Like, he's a well, you know, learned man, I would say. Porky.
Yes. I want to talk about how this one ends.
I think you want to talk about how this one ends.
Okay, so, you know, I talked about how Porky just, like, decides enough's enough. I don't want to deal with this guy anymore. I'm just leaving. And he goes to pack some stuff up real quick. And Daffy pulls all his, like, mechanics out of the car. Like, everything, like, his motor, all of it, just out of the car. And he gets into the car, and he just starts he's just being silly. Like, he starts making car noises when Porky starts trying to drive. And Porky just has had enough. He gets into the trunk with Daffy, and he just starts beating the shit out of him. Like, just car shaking, and then Porky gets out and restarts the car, and we see what happened. Porky has mangled Daffy into the engine of the car, and is also choking him as he does it. He has the mechanic choke Daffy as he does it to force him to keep going. Daffy insists this must be, like, illegal, And Porky has a permit, apparently, to use Daffy as an engine.
Yes, of course. Porky wouldn't do it if he didn't have the license to do it. He's an upstanding citizen. It's like a fucking saw trap that he's put Daffy in, where he's like strapped to it and he has to keep like pedaling and like moving his arms and legs, and if he stops moving even for a second, Porky chokes him. It's horrible.
Yeah. There's a lot to take in here. And I think it's a new power Porky has. We don't know how many other licenses he has.
That's true. He could whip out the, like, I get to shoot Bugs Bunny, like, one freebie license. And then what are we going to do?
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
It's a Porky win, though. I mean, fuck.
It is a Porky win.
It's been a while since we've had a Porky win, but I feel like he has a lot more than I thought he did. Like, he's really got that dog in him, you know? Not the Looney Tunes dog in him. Or maybe the Looney Tunes dog in him.
I mean, he's got the Looney Tunes dog in him. He is going loony. I mean, he's got Dark Porky, he's got his licenses, he's Notorious P.I.G.
God, well, I don't want to talk about Notorious P.I.G. anymore.
Well, I know who you do want to talk about.
I want to talk about Foghorn Leghorn. So we're going to talk about our next short, A Fractured Leghorn.
Starring the worm.
Starring Foghorn Leghorn, a worm, and a generic cat, which... Let's take a seat, everybody. Let's have a talk.
Okay.
So, we know a lot about the Looney Tunes dogs, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know a lot about them. You know, we've loved, laughed, lived with them. You know, we've had our fair share of adventures with the Looney Tunes dogs. It's been a while since we've seen them. I think we have to accept that they're not as prevalent anymore in these episodes. However, I do want to talk about this cat character.
Okay.
I feel like thinking of him as an individual is wrong.
Okay.
In a way, we can consider him a Looney Tunes cat, which there are a few. Not as many as the dogs, but there's a few Looney Tunes cats. So, my question is this. Is this cat a good representation of how we should view the Looney Tunes cat community? And bear in mind, this does include Sylvester.
Okay, then yes.
Okay, so he's a good, like we know we can look at him and learn a lot that we wouldn't from Sylvester about a Looney Tunes cat.
I was misunderstanding the question. I thought you meant he's a good representation of Looney Tunes cats and the fact that they're kind of pathetic and losers.
Okay.
This cat is just basically Sylvester. Like he is black and white. He's skinnier than Sylvester, but you could put Sylvester in this role and it wouldn't feel wrong. There's a gag he does at the end where he tells Foghorn to shut up, and I'm pretty sure Sylvester does that same thing to Foghorn in another short.
Yeah, he did. This is we don't get a name for him, but he's trying to fish. He needs a worm. There's a very adorable little Looney Tunes worm, which,
love him.
You know, let's have a talk. We need to talk about the Looney Tunes worm community.
Okay.
So, do you think this worm is a good representation of the Looney Tunes worms?
Name one other Looney Tune worm right now, and I'll continue this conversation.
I'm sure there's been one in like a Tweety Bird's short, maybe.
I need you to name one.
Name one? They don't have names. They're Looney Tunes.
I need you to like define one that's been in another short if you want this conversation to continue.
You're not gonna take me up on it?
No, if you can't think of more than one than besides this one, I'm skipping this bit.
What about the worm from the Wacky Worm short?
What are you talking about?
Talking about the Wacky Worm, the 1941 short.
You just looked up Looney Tunes worm to like find another one.
No,
we have not watched this one. You have definitely not watched the Wacky Worm. What happens in the Wacky Worm?
There's a crow. He's trying to find a worm.
Oh yeah, hey look, I see that crow on Google Images right now too.
He's trying to find the worm. The worm hides in the apples, and then the apples, and then the worm.
Anyway, Foghorn Leghorn in this one. I think the main takeaway I have from Foghorn Leghorn in this one is that he's really fucking violent.
Yeah, explain.
He's beating the shit out of this cat. Like that's like the entire gag. This one, it's cat just like, I'm gonna try to get this worm, and then freaking Foghorn Leghorn comes out of nowhere and just starts chatting off to him, and it keeps like hitting him like hard, like it just keeps going. And he hits him with his belly, like slams him in the head. He like knocks him over and says, "Hey, what are you doing on the ground?"
I love his belly bump move, which is like a fucking Smash Brothers moveset move that he would have, where he would bump an opponent with his belly. It's got a short range, but it's like powerful if you get a hit on it.
It's demented on this short. He's just... Foghorn is so mean.
But I don't think he's like trying to beat him up. Like he's
that's what I was gonna ask you, actually.
Okay.
How aware do you think Foghorn is of the things he does?
Not very. I think if there was any Looney Tune who is like not totally cognizant of like what they're doing, it's Foghorn Leghorn, which is something we don't talk about a lot, but there's a lot of times where Foghorn will start doing something and he like almost is totally unaware of exactly what he's doing. Like he's talking to this cat and he's like literally the cat says one thing the entire short, and the entire time Foghorn Leghorn is talking to him, he's like, "Wow, you talk a lot, cat. You fucking talk a lot. Hey, get up off the ground." And then he like knocks him over again. He's like, "Why you keep falling down? Get up!" Like pulling him back up. Like he's not aware that he's the one knocking him to his like this fucking ass. It's really horrible in a way.
You don't think Foghorn is like a super genius on like doing some 3-layered plans? You think he's just that stupid?
No, I think he's stronger than he knows of himself too. Like when he becomes aware, how do I word this? Okay, I think he is stronger when he's not aware of what he's doing. So when Foghorn is like in a fight, like when he tried to challenge like that one, what was it, a little rooster or something he was trying to fight that one time? No, he's trying to fight Barnyard Dog in like the ring. I forget. But when he was trying to fight him, he like was way too aware, like, okay, I'm in a fight, I have to be strong, I have to win, and he like lost horribly. But when he's just kind of fucking around, even with Barnyard Dog, when he's just like tapping him and like pushing him around and like shoving him, he loves to shove people. He does some damage there because he's not really, it's just like what he does with his hands while he's talking. Like he's not really aware that he's doing it. He just starts like flailing his arms everywhere because it's like a nervous tick of his or something.
So that could be a move for Foghorn on the battlefield, though. Like, he has a partner. Like, I don't know. He's, like, with Sylvester, and Sylvester's, like... And they're, like, cornered by Gossamer. And then Sylvester's like, did you hear Gossamer hasn't seen The Office before? And then Foghorn just, like, goes, he hasn't seen The Office, boy! And you haven't seen Michael Scott and all those wacky friends in The Office? Boy, get up, I'm talking to you! And he's just swinging his hand as he talks to Gossamer.
I love that. That could be. He would need somebody to activate it, though, for him. Like, he can't be aware that he's doing it.
Like, Sylvester in that situation is the one that activates it.
I love that. Sylvester just uses Foghorn to beat the shit out of Gossamer. Because I do think Foghorn could take Gossamer in a fight, but not if he was totally aware he was in a fight.
You have to be aware of Gossamer's finger, but we'll ignore that.
What?
Don't worry about Gossamer. Gossamer's finger. Don't worry about it.
Watch the Space Jam 2 discussion to understand that. But yeah, this is a. You said this was a worm win after we finished watching it.
Yeah.
So Worm lives, and the cat like beats the shit out of Foghorn by hitting him on the head, and then Foghorn's just like, "Okay, sorry, I'll shut up." Like he kind of takes it. He's like, "Okay."
Well, anyone who loses this short, it's definitely Foghorn, I think.
Yeah, he kind of got what was coming to him, even though the cat was getting beat up. Now, the cat does have a gun. Does that count for anything?
The only thing it's making me think about is why didn't he just fucking shoot Foghorn?
See, you're not even gonna get like the Looney Tunes cat army, all like 3 of them. If they're in the battlefield, that they could just pull out their one gun that they definitely have, and they could use it. You know what? Look out for the Looney Tunes cat. They're gonna surprise y'all.
Do you think Sylvester has a gun?
Yes, we've talked about it. He has had a gun before.
He has.
Now, I don't know if he owns a gun. I know that he knows how to use one, and he's like pulled one out before, but he could have just like scrounged around for it. I believe that this cat in this Foghorn Leghorn short, owns this gun. I think this cat like has this gun, got the license for it, purchased it legally, and all that good stuff. Like, it's all above board. I think Sylvester like finds a gun in like an alleyway, and he uses it for a bit, and then he doesn't use it for a while after. Okay. So Worm win. Looney Tunes worms, rise up, everybody!
Next short. I like clip shows.
Yeah, y'all like clip shows. I was really excited about this one. It's called This Is a Life because when I looked at the description, it had like 1 billion characters in it. It was like, oh, Bugs is here, and Daffy's here, and Elmer's here, and Yosemite Sam's here, and Granny's here. And I was like, oh, wow, what kind of wacky shenanigans are they going to get into?
It's rare to get more than like 3 Looney Tunes, I would say.
Yeah, and it's especially exciting for me to see like Bugs, Daffy, Elmer, Sam like on the stage together. Like it's just nice seeing them all together. They're at some sort of show that Elmer in his dapper little bow tie he's hosting it, and it seems he has like kind of plotted with Yosemite Sam to make Bugs like an interviewee on the show, and like, oh, they're gonna talk about his life, and so they get Bugs on the stage, and then they're gonna like gift him with something, and so then it shows various clips, I think all from shorts we've watched before, which is really funny.
I recognized all of them except I think the baby Bugs.
And the entire time Daffy is just like disgusted by the attention Bugs is getting, and this is where we kind of see more of that jealous Daffy Duck, personality. He does not cope well with Bugs getting all the attention.
Yeah, this is a jealous Daffy short. It feels weird to like have this short with so many characters in it and not have much to say.
Yeah, well they play to their strengths in that, they're what you expect them to be. Sam struts out and he's talking about how he, thinks Bugs is a varmint and all that, and you're happy to see him and all, but he's not adding anything new to the table. Granny's in the audience with Daffy, and she keeps hitting him on the head because he keeps talking too fucking loud.
Yeah, I guess you could write in your relationship charts. I know you all keep at home. You can write Daffy, Granny, hatred.
Yeah, Daffy seems indifferent to her, if not like he's pleasant to her, but Granny like hates him.
Yeah,
she keeps fucking bopping him on the head. And then at the very end, Elmer and Sam, they're like scheming together. They're like all huddled up, whispering and stuff. It's very romantic. And
that's something.
They hand Bugs a box, and at first Bugs is like, "Aw, you shouldn't have." And then he listens to it, can clearly hear it's a bomb, and he's like, never mind, I don't want it anymore."
He's used the bomb before. He knows.
Oh yeah, he knows the sound. So he keeps like passing it back and forth between like Sam passes it to Elmer, passes it to Bugs, back and forth, and then Daffy comes and takes it because of course he does. He's a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
Then he gets blown up, and that's the short. So was it worth it to watch it? I don't know. Is it even worth it to bring it up? I don't know.
Daffy lost, I guess, easiest way to put it.
Yeah, Daffy lost big time, which, do we count that as like an Elmer Yosemite Sam win? I mean, I guess their true target was Bugs, but how do they feel about Daffy? Are they happy that they got him?
I don't think they feel much towards Daffy. I mean, Yosemite hasn't even met Daffy before, I think.
No, unless we count the mitosist, like, Sam short, where there was 2 of them in the, like, snow that met him at one time. Remember?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't think either of them have anything much towards Daffy, so they didn't get what they wanted out of the situation. Bugs lived and Daffy exploded, and they both didn't get what they want. So I guess, by all means, it's a Bugs win!
Wow! Woo! Well, let's talk about our last short, then.
I want to talk about this last one.
A Pizza Tweety-Pie!
Now, this is pretty standard Tweety and Sylvester fare, right? Like,
yeah.
they're... The only spiceless one is there in Italy. It's what you expect. Try to sing the bird. Tweety does some silly stuff. But there's one big revelation this one. Sylvester's Italian?
This implies so much because is this the Sylvester we know and love, or is this specifically an Italian Sylvester? Like there just exists an Italian Sylvester.
It's just like, like regional forms in Pokemon. Is this the Italian, Sylvester form? Or is this a form he can assume, which is Italian form?
Like, this isn't just, Sylvester, but he's in Italy. It is Italian Sylvester. He talks like Mario. And it's really fucking funny.
He says something along the lines of, a suffering, a succotash. At the start.
A suffering, a succotash. It's really good. Granny is there on vacation, I think, with Tweety Bird.
Yes.
I do have a question, which I don't know if we've discussed this much before. So Granny often has Tweety Bird in like a cage, right? Like whenever she puts him out on the balcony and she's like, "Oh, here you go, Tweety. Like enjoy the sights." Do you think she keeps him in the cage for his protection, or is she like worried he's gonna like leave, like escape, fly away?
Well, consider this. What if it's for our protection? But she knows what he can do.
Because I've seen him like leave the cage on his own accord tons of times in different shorts. But like whenever he's just like chilling at home and like Granny's there too, why doesn't she let him like free fly? Why is he in the cage?
If you want a boring answer, it's probably like from an animation standpoint to give like Tweety a base to like return to and have like a bigger visual thing. If you want a quirkier answer, I think it's because she's afraid of what he'll do.
I do think she's right for that, because twice in this short, Tweety uses like a rubber band and some nails to like shoot at Sylvester. One time he's like across the way from him, so it's like fine, whatever. I mean, that's a decent shot. But there's this point where Sylvester accidentally like inflates a balloon too much and he starts flying into the fucking stratosphere, and Tweety like aims, like you can't even see Sylvester on the screen, like it's just the sky.
No.
And Tweety aims up at it, like shoots the perfect shot, like ping, and fucking Sylvester comes crashing down to the earth. So Tweety Bird's a sniper. I think we can all agree with that.
I want to talk about something real quick.
Sure.
Is this the first short we've ever seen where Sylvester actually eats?
Oh,
He gets a full plate of spaghetti at the end, by all means. He doesn't eat Tweety, but he eats that whole spaghetti plate otherwise.
Yeah, he like at one point like almost gives up and he's like, I'm eating my spaghetti. And he starts eating a just gigantic plate of spaghetti, and he finishes the whole damn plate, I'm pretty sure. And God, I don't know if we've ever really seen him eat a proper meal. I'm sure we've seen him eat like scraps before, like to illustrate how starved he is. He's like dumpster diving. He like eats a fish bone or something, or a little meat off a fish bone. But I don't think we've ever seen him eat a plate of spaghetti.
He gets a full meal in this one. Which hold on, what do we take from this? Sylvester, if he just returns home to his hometown of Italy where he lives and is from, he could just get spaghetti. Like, someone's clearly given it to him. Like, he doesn't seem like he's at a table, he was sat down, he clearly can have spaghetti in Italy, but he still wants that damn bird. Which in a lot of ways, I think decreases any sympathy you could possibly have towards Sylvester. Because now you just know he's being stupid.
But it's the thrill of the chase. I mean, it's Tweety Bird is a rare filet mignon for him, because he's a one-of-a-kind bird. He's never gonna like have anything like him ever again. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime meal. He can always go back home to his mama and get some spaghetti anytime he wants. But if he wants that damn bird, he can only eat him one time, and that bird's gonna like die and go bad eventually. So I think he's got to take up the opportunity when he can.
I don't think that means anything. I feel no sympathy for him.
Wow. Well, Tweety Bird won that short, in a way.
Tweety Bird won. And Granny and the entire country of Italy. Everyone won except Sylvester.
That's bad.
We didn't get much comments last time because it was a stream, but I do want to read at least one of these comments we got here.
Go ahead.
This is from Flurf 1824. Let me slide this by you. LeBron does have that dog in him. He just doesn't have that Looney Tunes dog character in him. This is an all-timer.
I read this and got like really excited when I saw it. It was just really, really good. I really love this comment. I do want to read something from the Discord server.
Okay.
From somebody named Gronkoy.
Yes.
I love this.
I know this.
It's pretty long, so bear with me. But they came to the chat and were like, I want a theory craft. And I was like, go ahead, do it. So here we go. This was a bit ago. So I want to prove that Taz is in fact Wily's dark form. But first.
I love it already.
But first,
keep going.
What makes a dark form of a character unique from its original counterpart?
Well, looking at the truths of Porky Pig and Dark Porky, we can start to dissect what makes them different. Also, we will be separating the truth into 2 categories, physical and personality. The Porky Proclamations. Personality, shy, naive, logistical, physical, chubby, stuttering, pink skin, species of pig, clean clothing, and the Dark Porky Personality, cruel, spontaneous, excessive, physical, chubby, stuttering, pink skin, species of pig, torn clothing. As you can see, their physical attributes are nearly the same, and yet their personalities differ by a large margin. So now we can see if Taz and Wily share a similar pattern. The Tasmanian truths. Personality.
Okay.
Unhinged, ravenous, evil-tempered, unintelligent. Physical, brown fur, light brown fur on the stomach, black nose, bipedal, strong jaws, and rapid speed. And the wily words. Personality, dedicated, intelligent, devoted to... Sorry. Devoted to a fault, persistent, physical, brown fur, light brown fur on stomach, black nose, bipedal, rapid speed. Taz has almost the same physical appearance as Wily aside from a shortened body and a bigger mouth, and yet his personality is completely different, just like Dark Porky to normal Porky. I feel like Taz is almost certainly Wily's dark form. However, there's one thing I gotta talk about. How can Taz and Wily exist at the same time? To answer that, we gotta watch Space Jam 2! Oh my god! Hold on, it gets better! Okay. Midway through the game, Wily pulls out his Acme multiplier, King James edition.
Yes, of course.
If this is the King James edition, then that means there's the normal edition to it. Maybe Wily used it in the past, and the second Wily entered his dark form, and that's how we have Wily and Taz playing basketball at the same time. Makes perfect sense, right? These two are in fact the same person. Also noticed one thing with Dark Porky and normal Porky. Dark Porky goes against all values of being a gentleman, unlike normal Porky, and Taz tries to eat literally anything while Wily only goes for the damn bird. It's like one of their main trips is completely flipped on its heads. Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
god.
I'm convinced.
I'm convinced too. You know what? You sold me, I was gonna bring up that you couldn't have 2 of them in the same place, but I have to shut up because obviously he used the Acme multiplier and made
Not
another...
the King James edition,
Not
though.
the King James edition, the normal version. And he made another Wily who is in permanent dark Wily mode and is going by Taz now. This is the best theory I've ever heard in my life.
This is awesome.
I love this. Thank you so much for your comment. Well, we had a fun time now, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on one second. What?
You have to be in the room again.
I'm trying to finish it. You heard me talk about Taz. Okay, are you sensitive about that or something?
Oh no.
You know what? I need to go stay with my mom for what?
Oh no.
What a great show, everybody.
Yeah.
You know what? Until next time, everybody. That's all, folks.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.